Let us now come to the homework part of today. So first of all, like I told you at the very beginning in the introduction, there is a game that you can play. So look at the game, get the game started, and then play the first part, the balance sheet valley, as it's called. So try to solve all the tasks there. Try to explore the region and try to learn the contents of the course better with this. So that's the first part. Then there is a task, human resources as assets. We see that also on the next slide. And a couple of reading exercises. So this might look a bit overwhelming, but on the next slide you will see more clear instructions on the next slide. So first of all, of course the game, you know where to find it because you had that in the introduction part. So you know where to get the game, how to start the game. So, and then play the balance sheet valley part. Then we look at human resources assets. The task is answer the following question. Can human beings be classified as assets for companies? Or in other terms, can we put people on the balance sheet as non-current assets? And for this, please think back to the 4 criteria that we had for classifying assets. And just try to answer for each criterion if people are, let's say, assets or not. Then, read the major financial statements. An overview is just 1 page. That's basically the first part of the lecture also today, where we looked at the 3 statements, just that you read that again and get the distinction between the 3 statements clear. Then read the statement of financial position, the balance sheet, so that you recap basically what we did today in more detailed terms. So read the parts in the book so that you are knowledgeable about the balance sheet, because I promise you will need the balance sheet basically throughout a lot of courses in your study, or you will encounter it again. So the sooner you learn the ins and outs of the balance sheet, the better. And then there are some accounting conventions. This is basically what the financial statements are based on. So we have the business entity convention, historic cost convention, prudence convention, going concern, and dual aspect. It's not too much, just a couple of pages. Please read them. And from next week onwards, or next lesson that we have onwards, you're expected to, let's say, know what these mean. So this basically means that we would like you to understand what the conventions actually include, but we'll not dive into them in more detail in the lectures. So this is one of, let's say, the self-study elements, which is not part of the, let's say, of the lectures or of the tutorials, but you're still expected to know these conventions, because that's what the financial statements are built upon, and you will more easier understand the financial statements if you understand these. And also for the exam, it might be that we ask you about these conventions. So please read the parts carefully, so you see not everything that we, let's say, our homework parts are, let's say, incorporated into the course, because there's also some part of self-study given. And Goodwill and Brands, also just 2 pages. You will see now it's a bit of more, now you'll see it's a little bit more of reading, but that's also because, it's the first lesson, and usually we would spread it a little bit differently. You will also see that in the next lessons, that now it's quite a lot to read, but still hopefully gives you the background or the basis for the next weeks to come. You will always be able to see the sources at the end of the slideshow. You will see where I got the pages from for the lecture slides. So you can read those parts again. I mean, most of the things are anyway part of the homework or of the course materials you have to read. But anyway, if you are not sure about something, you can always find it back there. And yeah, the link to the video playlist, as I said, everything is on YouTube. And after each lecture and after each tutorial, you will find, let's say, an individual link that brings you to the playlist of this particular lecture or tutorial. So if you click on this, you will get to the digital version, and you can basically, like you did now with this lecture, always find the appropriate or the right playlist for this week. So, and with this, I come to the end of the course for today, end of the lecture. I hope everything is clear. If it's not clear, please approach me in person, or you can also use the comment function here on YouTube, because that might also be helpful to others. If you just type in, I didn't understand, minute 15, could you please explain that again? And I'll try to put a text there. so that also maybe other students that have the same question, who have the same question, can also benefit from that. So don't be shy to comment, and I'll try to help as soon as possible. Thanks very much, and have a good further day.